9.
Breaking news update now.
Greenville Fire says 3 people were injured
after being rescued from a fire on Saturday evening.
It happened on Mayberry Street.
Greenville City 911, what's the emergency?
We were in the kitchen. I'm doing some training, talking about vacant buildings and stuff like that, actually, and then hanging out at the kitchen table when it came in.
And got a report of smoke, possible fire in the area of the intersection down here off Hudson Street.
I'm at Southern Side Brewery, and I see a shed or like a mobile home on fire.
Everybody drops what they're doing. We're getting to the trucks as quick as we can. We're getting dressed out and we're getting on the trucks, heading to the scene.
The mentality, you're gonna do something, you're gonna risk your life to protect somebody that you don't even know. You have to have that mindset, that mentality. It's somebody's worst day when they're calling 911. It could be one of the worst emergencies of their own entire life, and we're sitting around cutting up, drinking coffee, and you go from having a good time and to work mode.
Right next to it, the building burning.
When the call came in, and we knew where we were going, we've been there before on medical calls, so the guys had an idea already what the layout was like from going on those medical calls.
So my role on that day was to stretch the line from the truck to the front door and be on fire attack with my lieutenant.
It definitely looks like it's on fire, smoking really bad.
There's just a lot of smoke, and then we went in through the front door, and there were some little bits of fire on the floor, and as we were putting those out, then some of the ceiling tiles started to come down, and then you could really see where the bulk of the fire was, which was in the ceiling above us.
We search expecting to find someone. If we go in a building like that and our mindset is that nobody is probably in there, that would put our minds in a less aggressive mindset. And so we're not doing our job at fireground pace. So we go in every building with the expectation that we're going to find fire and find life.
I hear somebody yelling. Okay, the fireman is close by wherever he's at.
What goes through the radio is just that you found a victim, and what goes on when you find them is get them out as fast as you can. Sometimes the way you come in isn't the quickest way to get them out.
Unfortunately, things happen and we can't help things, but what those guys did, being able to pull them out and, find them first of all, and then pull them out, and what EMS and PD and what our guys did, Engine 3 and Engine 4 working, compressions in the backyard, what those guys did was, nothing short of heroic. So that's what we want to push is no matter what is we're gonna ensure the safety of everybody, whether we know it or not.
There's people, who are, $1 million homes, people who are in, vacant structures like this, people who live out in the woods. But our responsibility is to all of them. The oath we take is for all of them.
We're going to start out aggressive, not blindly aggressive, intelligently aggressive. We're going to try and make the best decisions we can in this shortened time frame, because it's a very dynamic thing to show up on scene.
We're here to work. Everybody had a job to do. Everybody knew their job, and everybody had the training to do their job, and everybody took pride in their job.
And just knowing that and being able to help people in their crisis, that makes it worth it. And yeah, that keeps me motivated to push myself to do the best that I can.
It's a privilege to get to do what we did the other day, because even though that was even though unfortunately they ended up passing, the best chance that they had was what our crews gave them by getting them out of that building.
Every kid wants to be a firefighter, and I just never grew out of it.
In 33 years, for me, what hasn't changed is protect and serve. From day one, that's how I felt. That's what I wanted to do. I always want to be a part of a team, and this is kind of what this is like.
Yeah, growing up volunteering, soup kitchens or, singing at, the elderly folks home or whatever, always kind of felt called to do more and to help others, whether that's, physically or mentally, emotionally. And I feel like the fire department fits all of those, there's so many different ways that we are able to help, from fires to installing smoke alarms to, medical calls to, even seeing kids at the grocery store and, give them little plastic helmets.
Never take anything for granted, that's for sure. And just do your best. Be a good dude.
Well, as firemen, it's not about us. And when a camera gets shined on you, a lot of times you feel like it's about you. And, our job, our goal is to take care of the community, the citizens we serve, and, most of the time in anonymity. It's part of a team that we work with, and that's what we care about. So being in front of the camera sometimes just feels like it's shining the spotlight on you, which is uncomfortable for us. So my name is Paul Boggs.
I'm Lieutenant Crane.
I'm Eric Lindbergh.
My name's Corey Bennett.
My name is Robert Taylor.
My name is Andy Crawford.
Firefighter Wills.
My name's Shay Williams.
But it's a privilege to be a fireman, first of all. As a fireman within the fire service, it's a privilege to get to do what we did the other day.